It was nobody at that light. It was clear. Like either they were trying to beat the light or they didn't want to stop for the light. They was, and then I looked at her age. She was born in 1999. She was 23. So if it wasn't her, it was him driving. So they had time to switch. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I got it. I got it. I got it. Yeah. Sure. So that's why you could go ahead and do old crazy stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you know that one. That's right. Yeah. But no, that's right. But people think like that. But I thought about it when I got it because I was too calm. I just couldn't find my thing like you all. So I'm like, where is my phone? Where's my insurance? And I didn't have my phone. Everything is in my phone. My contacts of my daughters. And I got to start. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to put it on a piece of paper and always have it. That is the most craziest thing to be, not to have any contacts. None whatsoever. I had none. In my phone. You're hostage.
Never do the auto dial. I always punch in the number.
Right. Yeah.
So that I remember it.
Okay.
So that because if you just
I don't know. You never get it singed in your mind what number to hit if you have. Yeah.
so I don't do that. I
That's smart. I'm going to start so you can see what number it is. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, oh, it was terrible. I say it was terrible. But I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so we wanted to see. Because there's certain services there's not. In our
Lakeisha. Lakeisha. Mine keeps circling. Oh, it just came on. It knew you was getting up. Yeah, it kept circling. Thank you.
Well, because that's actually very what I have to do with all of them. If we don't do that, we're not going to get. Because some wanted it, they don't just. Or they do know that, or they don't. They're not going to get it. Right. So part of it is just asking. There's an overtime as we get more.
Uh-oh. I can't find it. Hi, good morning. I can't find it. Where is it? Oh, this is not good. Hi, my dear. This is not good. I can't find it. Are you okay? Oh, I can't get them up. I got it. Yeah. Somebody burn it. Good. I called it. I called it. I'm like, God.
I couldn't get to my phone.
I couldn't get to mine because I had mine. But everybody else can. I can't get on here. I don't know why. What am I doing now? So you're doing okay? It's your hair? I know it. That's what you look like. Okay, Lakeisha. No, it's not because I can't find it. I can't find today's.
What is that? It says board member. I saw it in the video.
I cannot get on.
It says board member.
I don't know. Mine is regular.
It should, yeah, it can go in the cabinet.
Okay.
What's up with me? Oh, the gavel.
What's wrong?
I can't get on.
What can't you do?
I can't get on today. Today is the 11th.
What are you using to get on?
No, that's mine. I have no idea. What's up?
Are you connected to the watch?
It's supposed to show the 11th.
Oh, yeah, and that's the 10th. Well, that says the board meeting. We won't go here. We'll just go here.
Just click on that one. There it is.
Got it? You're welcome. Sure.
Yes, ma'am. As soon as Lakiva get back.
Hoarding in progress.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. We are going to call to order the meeting of the Finance Administration Committee of the West County Wastewater District of the Board of Directors. Today is Thursday, January 11th, 2024. It is just about, it's 9:05 a.m. Madam Clerk?
Present.
Present. Thank you. Thank you. Madam, would you mind reading, clerk, would you mind reading the public comment?
Now it's time for public comment for items not on the agenda. If anyone wishes to speak on items not on the agenda, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. And confirming we have not received any public comment. Everyone has raised their hand. So we have no public.
Thank you so much. With that, I would like to turn it over to our Director of Administrative Services, Mr. Justin Lovell, to read us through the remainder of the agenda. Sir?
Item number 1 on the agenda is to accept the minutes of November 9th, 2023 Finance and Administration Committee meeting. Madam Clerk, have we received written comments on this item or request to speak?
We have not. If anyone wishes to speak on item 1, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comment.
Okay. Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion to accept the Finance Administration Committee minutes for November the 9th, 2023.
Thank you. I concur, so we can enter those into the record. Thank you. Next.
All right. Item number 2 on the agenda is a review of West County wastewater vendors by location. Madam Clerk, have we received written comments on this item or request to speak?
No, we have not. If anyone wishes to speak on item 2, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comment.
Okay. All right, so this item, Madam Chair, you requested several months ago to review kind of our vendors by location. So we pulled together the vendors that we paid last fiscal year, created a heat map. Lakeem, if you want to kind of pull that up, we can just start from there. And we provided a list of the vendors, the amount we spent on there, and I think really we're just kind of like looking at kind of any trends. Most of them are for services, a lot of them for smaller dollar amounts, and so we broke out we categorized the vendors of those who are in our service area, and then kind of those are in the 2 counties, Contra Costa, Alameda County area, Greater California, and then just the outside of California area. And so just looking, at the heat map, it's really by the darker red color is the more money that we spent. As you can see, that we have vendors, consultant, this is their payment location. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have local offices, but it's just, as a larger company, that's where we're sending the payments to. So, if you see like Chicago is a very dark red, that's where we're sending the NG payments. And NG is one of our largest vendor, contractors that we're paying to this last fiscal year. And so you see it's really spread out. There's some of these, all the heat maps are on the pipes programs, if you can just see it on the color, but we took the pipes program reimbursements out of the list that was on the PDF. And just to point out here on the service area, that is the reason it's a big red dot exactly on our location, that was a payment that West County Wastewater made to the West County Agency this last year related to the SBS project that's at the City of Richmond plant. So that was our share. So it's kind of we took that out of the list, but we had it on there. So it's not accurately. It was a payment to the JPA that West County Wastewater made. So just what we have been doing, as part of the policy, and as you've seen as a committee, a lot of our we've been doing several more RFPs this last year or so for the regular services that we have, so we can have longer term and relationships with certain services that we need that are recurring all the time. We've been spending a lot more, I say just generally, when we have services and the RFPs out on the street, we as staff, we've been doing more outreach than I think that we've done in the past. And just as part of our community kind of outreach program, is we are getting more presence in the community at the different events, whether Council of Industries or chamber events. East Bay Leadership Council, I know we became a member this last year. So we're having opportunities to get to know potential businesses that we may be able to do service with in the near future. So I guess it does kind of the brief presentation. I don't know if there's kind of specific questions, how we want to phrase it on the committee, what you would like to know about. A lot of the, just generally in the service area, there's a wide range of companies. Some of them are kind of national companies, but they have local offices that we pay. Some of it's for HVAC maintenance or for supply, that we're using a collection system or maintenance. So they're kind of they're varied types of services. But you see just on that, if I go down to that Excel spreadsheet on Area 1, as you can see, the biggest vendor is APB Engineering. They're out of San Pablo. They do spot repairs. They've won several of our competitive construction contracts in the area. So you see they're much larger. So that's probably the biggest local contractor or company that we've been paying to. But they have been, winning, as the lowest cost, or as the lowest cost, most responsive bidder for construction contracts. So I'll kind of take a pause there and see if there's any questions from the committee.
Director King Meredith.
Well, I just.
Before you speak, do we have a hard copy of the vendor list?
We do not. Would you like to? We can get that printed out right now if that's helpful for you.
It would be helpful, please.
Get that. Yeah.
And I didn't mean to interrupt you, madam.
Oh, no, that's quite okay. That's fine. Madam Chair and to our staff, I was just wondering about some of these that are listed outside the area, and I guess the bidding process or the RFPs that were in place. Were there any other entities that, say for instance, we have this one for Recess Development Company. It is in Reno. It's 8112 Reno, and it's outside of California. and it's only 150,000. But was it anything? Was it any other company that could have more or less been our supporters or our entities to use instead of outside of California, but inside of California and closer to us of wastewater?
I would have to look into the specifics of that
How-
particular service, because sometimes this is the payment location.
Oh,
Right,
and
so,
it's
so
not-
I would have to look into, we'd have to get into more detail. We don't have that right now.
Oh, okay.
But can look at how, where they're located, specifically what what it was for. Because sometimes if it's, some specific parts, sometimes they're only available at that time is this one provider in the out-of-state has them. But I can't speak specifically to this particular vendor. I have to look more into that.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's it. I understand that part, and first of all, thank you for the list and the level of detail. This is a great start. This is kind of what we needed to start reviewing this. I mean, because I understand that, because like I'm just pulling out one. Uline. Uline is a, as you know, is a company that provides a lot of manufacturing goods, or bins and plastics and things that we would use in the plant.
Just about
Right.
anything.
Anything you want, you can get from Uline. I need some, half-gallon drums or whatever. But Uline is, they supply it nationwide, so I get it. Right, I get it. And so they're not gonna have a location in Richmond. But, so it's, or it could be a specialty part that we need, and it's only supplied in San Diego or Idaho. I get that. I think why I wanted to look through the list was to see if there's if there are everyday items or things that could be supplied by local vendors that we are overlooking. And I'm just pulling out one right now that I like, that I see right now, the RNS Erection of Richmond, that works on doors, and yeah, they do commercial and residential. I know because if he's my garage door.
But they fix
So-
our gates.
See,
too.
there you
Yeah,
go. They fix the gates. So it's things like that we can represent to the public, that we are using local vendors, and then like Beck Electric Supply, and people who are doing commercial and general, and we're not just going outside of not just WCW service area, but I'm also we're looking at WCW service area. Then the next level of that is West County. The next level of that is, I believe we were talking about Greater Contra Costa, and then the 3-county area, right? So it's like WCW service area, West Contra Costa, and then Alameda and Solano County, Northern California, like that. I think that's what I'm kind of looking at. I'm also looking to see, are we doing the same thing that we were talking about last week when we were or last month when we were talking about, maybe it was 2 months ago, the PLA, is that, okay, are we also walking our own walk when it comes to SBE, DBE, veterans, disability on business, women on business, small business? Are we working with, I know we're working with Council of Industries, are we also working with the chambers, the different chambers, to make sure that we are leveraging their ability to get the word out when we have RFPs, RFIs, RFQs, to solicit as many different types of businesses are we working with. We have a beautiful opportunity over at the community college to let them know exactly what we're doing. So there's outreach, capital O, and there's outreach, all the letters are capital. And so I think that's what I was looking for. So this is good. This is a great start to it. I love the heat map. Thank you so much. And I get it that the heat map is really in context, right? We're taking it in context. It doesn't necessarily mean that's where they're working, that it means, yeah, I get it. Because if we look, I mean, Hanson Bridget has offices in here in the Bay Area, but they also have billing in Southern California, right? So make sure when you're looking at these in the public, you're not saying, why are there attorneys down in Southern California when one of them is right here having to commute to our office she's not commuting every week from San Diego. Just taking that long drive on the bay, on the dreaded bay roads like the rest of us. And the same with NG. So I'm glad you brought NG up. And I think, Justin, one of the things I think may make this list helpful too for the public is that I think we talked about this, is having a column that tells what it's for. I say that because when I'm looking at areas, I think it's area 4, like when I look at Aqua, I know what Aqua is for. But if somebody doesn't and they're like, they look at it and they say, well, why, even this one in Sacramento, well, what is it for? But Aqua is really important, as we talked about last night. CASA is really important, as we talked about last night. Why are they giving them $20,000? You know, isn't there someone here, not in Sacramento, where we can give $20,000? No, there's not. CASA, you know, if you know that CASA represents all of California's sanitation agencies, you know that there's why they're based in Sacramento, and there's what, you know, is helping us with making sure that we're taking care of what's necessary for all of sanitation agencies throughout California. It's like that, right? California Utilities Emergency Association. There's a reason they're based in the Sacramento area. So I think that maybe having just that one Notesville may help also with that billing location factor too, right? Mm-hmm. NG, so you could say billing office, NG, you know, like where it says Chicago, billing office, San Francisco, something, I don't know. I know it's a lot more work, but even like, you know, Umpqua Bank is based out of Hillsborough, but you don't go to Hillsborough every time we need to do work. It's right here, the Bay, right? So why are we doing work? Well, there's plenty of banks in the Bay Area. Why are you doing bank working out of, you know, over there? There's a bank right down the street, Hilltop.
Which we have, right? That is.
I
our
know,
main-
but
right, yeah.
I'm speaking from somebody
they
who might
see
be
this,
reading
you don't
this. They'll
see that,
see it
right.
and they'll say, why you can't use a bank that's right here? Not realizing that Umpqua is one of the main banks for special districts and for you know, these type of agencies. Do you understand?
Right.
Somebody who doesn't understand could read these and misread and misunderstand
Right.
without that kind of note.
Because they don't understand, well, because it's not here, which I appreciate your point, that that's our credit card.
That's a credit
it's the
card.
bank.
They don't know. They
Right.
don't know that they issue credit cards for, you know, a great percentage of special districts and small districts.
Right.
So that would be my point. I've gone through this in other circumstances where people see that and they're like, well, why are we using this bank? Can't we use I think we should use a public bank. And I say,
It's not equipped.
so you just want your money, you just want to throw your money out the window because you don't understand it. You know, not every bank
And there are
can
risks
not only
involved, right?
handle
We
it.
just-
There's risk to what we're doing, and we have taken care to analyze those risks. So I think that's, you know, and I do want to take some more time to read through this list some more. and to give you some more feedback on that, but I think that this is good. On the first one, even APB General Engineering, I like that they're local. What are they working on? This would be good. I don't want you
Well,
to
we
answer
can't
me.
get like, I mean, it would be, since there's several contracts, I'm thinking that generally, if it would be acceptable for you, is they're doing construction projects, they're doing
Right.
spot repairs,
That's
they're
it.
replacing sewer lines.
I think I just want to know, for especially what I'm really interested in when I said that question was, is this one under the PLA contract, or is this one of the other ones? Is this like one of our A&E contracts? Is this an on-call contract?
Another
Is
type of
PLA
contract.
contract?
Okay.
Is this miscellaneous? Or is this several contracts? And if it is several contracts, just say that. Just say, what you just say, right? Several general contracting, several general electric contracts. Or you can put the contract numbers, I don't care. But what I'm most interested in, I want to be able to quickly look at these. Oh, okay, so these one of the ones under the PLA. These one of the ones under the on-call. Does that make sense?
Right, so where kind of what's, part of it's the contracting authority, and some of them are just under purchase order, because it's under, and this is
I think
kind of
it's
goes
good.
into what we will be providing to the committee in very soon, hopefully next month, but we're working on it, to provide a report of, these are all the contracts, purchase orders that were entered under this fiscal year. And so we can provide a running report to the committee about what kind of activity is going on.
Exactly.
And what's the purchasing
Right.
kind of method or procurement method that we're using.
And we'll refine this list, so I'm not expecting somebody to get this done like this. I think we'll refine the list, because as we look at it, more questions will pop up. But I think by the time we're finished, we'll have a really good report that we'll be able to look at. So we won't have like, oh, you got a PLA report over here, and you got this report over here, and this. We'll have like one report that we'll be able to refer to, and we'll be able to say. So we have this on-call report that does this, and we have this report, but we'll be able to look at it and say, I see. So in context, because one of my questions was, I want to be able to look at this report, and even with those notes, and say what the percentage is of local vendors, what the percentage is, the money spent per vendor, per contract. And then you can figure out that component that we were talking about earlier. That kind of, I don't really like using the word equity component, because it doesn't really match A to B, because there's other factors that we have to consider when we're awarding the contracts. Again, it's not going to be, you can't just say we can only award it to West County, either WCW service area or West Contra Costa. There's other factors. But if we don't tell them there are other factors to consider, if somebody just looks at it, they won't know, right?
Right.
I don't want you going with a bank in Richmond just because it's in Richmond. and it's not the most advantageous to the district. So, but if we tell them why is or why we are doing investments in certain areas, I think the why is good, without having to look at, 15 months worth of board meetings to figure that out. Because we already did this in different board meetings. But if they can see it with just a quick note, I think. But I like this. I think this is a really good start. I have a question. You have one on here, line 1726, or business 1726 on the first page. It's like about 40% of the way down. It says formerly dependable tire solutions. What was it before?
I'd have to look into our finance system, exactly what I think they might have had a name change, and we got a new W-9, but that field, we pulled it out because that's what we're used to calling it. Do you have that, Maria?
Yeah. Yeah,
Frizzy
so
Corp.
I would put that and then put the formerly in
Yeah.
parenthetical. It just caught my eye.
It just, yeah, because as a, so it's good feedback. So it's because we're pulling this field from our finance system, right? We're pulling this one row, this one item, but there's other information along with the vendors, and that we just have to, we can look through that.
Yeah,
when
so
we're pulling the reports together.
It's just little things. So I will look at it, Director King Meredith, if you want to just take some time to look at it too.
Yes.
Do you have any more comments, madam? But I think it's a great start, sir.
It is.
This shows how far how far you've taken these systems, because we could not have had this a few years ago. I want the public to know. We did not have this a few years ago. It would have taken a lot more work than this. So thank you, Justin. Thank you, Maria. Thank you to the entire finance team.
Yes, that's one of, our ongoing projects of continuing to improve our data to make it more useful so we can more easily pull it out and make it useful and have that available for the public and for the board.
Well, you are succeeding. This is good. This is great start. I appreciate it. Thank you. Any other information you would like to see, madam?
No, you've covered it all. We're looking at the different categories for us to have it categorized and condensed and for us to be able to identify. So it's a great, it's a great start, for us to be able to identify once we have these ledgers to come to us. So I agree.
Do we have a total spend at the bottom?
I believe it is. So we spent about a little over almost $34 million this last year.
Okay. I just want to make sure that adds up to the totals that we give them, when you do your financial presentation. I know it won't match.
Yeah,
But-
right. It's on the accounting side, right? There could be a lot of money out, but if it's related to capital projects, there's some accounting entries that we would do that you wouldn't clearly represent a full expense, because how we have to deal.
I
with
would
those.
put that caveat there, because a person like me, I would take this report and I was like, wait a minute, because he gave a presentation a couple months ago. This is not adding up. That I know people who are like me who would do that. So just put some kind of note at the bottom that says, a couple of footnotes that says that, from an accounting standpoint, that these numbers are based as a snapshot in time at the moment the report is printed. Those notes that we usually do for anything dealing with finance, that these are based as a snapshot in time at the time the report is printed. There may be additional vendors not listed because of XYZ, right? Or some of these vendors may no longer be our vendors.
Right,
Or,
which happens, right.
names may change, things like that.
Right.
And then again, you could just put one note that says that the locations represented, one footnote that says the locations represented may be billing notes, and just use that footnote for like a Angie or somebody or Hills, and say this is the billing location, not representative of the location where the work is occurring. You could just use that. I would recommend using that instead of putting it in the notes field for each one of those. That's what I would do, because I think it's more useful to do that instead of putting it all the way down for all of those locations.
Put a note.
Because I'm pretty sure people, let me not say that, because we get all kind of questions. But I would hope people would not think we have a firm in Chicago that is sending people every day to here to do work in Richmond. But let me not put on people my senses, my good senses, as my grandmother would say. Okay?
Yeah.
These all I have, Miss Annie. Anything
No,
else?
you've covered it very well.
All right. With that, sir, it looks like we have a good thing to do, good thing to say, unless you have something else, or Miss Nicole, or Madam General Counsel. Did we miss anything, or we good on
No,
this?
I think we're good. This is pretty, as we refine this report, I mean, so we are working on kind of providing additional information kind of as a running total every fiscal, kind of quarterly reports that we'll be working on providing to the committee. So that is helpful thank you for the feedback.
It's a work in progress.
Yes, it is.
All right. If we're done with this item, we can move on to the item 3. On the agenda is reports on issues or matters pertaining to the work of the committee. Madam Clerk, have we received written comments on this item or requests to speak?
We have not. If anyone wishes to speak on item 3, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comments.
Okay.
Yeah. I have none.
Okay, thank you. Thank you as well. We do have a few, we announced last night, we have a few meetings coming up that we can report on them next, when's our next meeting? February 8th. Well, then I'm meeting, so the webinars we can report on next meeting. The meetings will have to wait until March. That will likely affect the board. I think, Madam General Counsel, there's a few bills that are pending in state legislature. Can we, should we discuss it here? It's that affect water and wastewater. Should we discuss them here before we discuss them before the general board? Because it's going back to the one on training in, the mandatory training for public officials.
We should probably discuss what the bills are, and then we can figure out a good path forward for any discussion or updates.
Okay, the one I'm particularly interested in is the mandatory training for public officials in finance, and how we make sure that happens.
Yeah, I don't have
It went back into, and in January, right now, it looks like I think it's the end of January, it looks like it may go back into effect. Looks like everybody stopped fighting over it.
Okay, we can take a look at that
Can
one.
you
I
take
know
a
which
look
one
and
you're
see if
referring
it's
to.
gonna go back into effect? And then I wanted to know if we can just give a reminder to everyone about their filings that are due. I know they already get them, but yeah, everyone has filings that are due.
So your campaign statements, the semi-annual campaign statements are due at the end of January. So that's like Form 460, 470, whichever is applicable to you. I don't know if you've received notice yet regarding Form 700.
We have not, but I want to just give everyone a heads up to look for it, because I know last year people said that it went into their spam, so they were getting notices of delinquency. So I just want to make sure if we could give people a heads up.
I'll check the county system to see if they've actually gone out. I haven't.
It hasn't gone out yet because I didn't get it at my job yet. It usually goes out around the same time people get their W-2s. But I just want to give people a heads up. I just had it as a note. It's finance, so I figured I'd tell people that one. So the Form 700, the 460, and then also our anybody who has, and Robin has been exceptional at telling me, and I gave her mine on the 2-year AB 1234 training, and the ethics training, 2 different things. Because I think there was a thought that they were the same, but they're not the same.
No, they're not. And I'll be sending, whoever it's due, like, I have a list, and so I'll be notifying.
I wanted to just bring that up, yeah. If we could put it if we could talk to the GM and President Alvarado about just putting it as a reminder at our next meeting. So I just wanted to send it from this committee to as a recommendation at the general board meeting.
I'm checking. Okay.
That was 8. Spark anything? You good?
I'm good.
With that, I am good. Madam Clerk, it's back to you.
So I'll just say that the next Finance and Administration Committee meeting is scheduled for February 8th at 9 a.m. And that's it.
With that, meeting is adjourned at 9:40, 9:39 to be accurate. Thank you. All right, can you put this back? Thanks. It goes over there.
What do you? So, I didn't have much to say. You covered it all. I said, I didn't have much to say. You covered it all. Look, I'm still in training. You know my nerves. That's why you won't be chair. I was be chair last night. Like, I'm gonna make a big chair. Now we put, David think he's slick. Now we put that, we put that in the way they going back on these, you know, and these are, how can I say, legendary folks. You was with these are Dr. Clark, now, these are legendary folks. These are, look, you know, and then everybody was needed to their
Put it on the calendar, because otherwise your days are gonna get sucked up and doing something else. Are you like going upstairs to kind of? Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's outside.
It's outside by like 10 miles.
Yeah, exactly.